Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to subscribe. Today is a really cool day because one of my favourite brands, if you follow the channel, have released a new product. What is it? Bilt Hamber Trace-less Super Wetting Glass Cleaner. You get a couple of microfiber towels, glass towels thrown in. Before I start talking about this product, I want you to watch this video.
Introducing Traceless, a superior super wetting glass cleaner. This video shows the attributes we considered and tested in the development of Traceless: wetting power on glass, cleaning efficiency on stubborn, oily, and mixed grime, ability to transfer the suspended dirt into a cloth, reduction of any residue from the glass cleaner, any negative effect on glass treatments, surrounding trim, and intentionally applied coatings. Our advanced goniometer accurately measures contact angles and surface tension. To establish a control measurement, we determine that the contact angle of distilled water, a pour wetter, is 107 degrees on this surface. We deposit 10 drops of each competitor to compare their wetting power. Here, competitor 2 from the United States produces an average contact angle of 85.9 degrees. In contrast, Traceless's superior performance is demonstrated by a contact angle of 45.6 degrees. Higher wetting power is shown by flatter beads with lower contact angles. The measured contact angles are shown in this table, arranged from highest to lowest wetting power. Bilt Hamber's proprietary volatile surfactants increase Traceless's wetting power compared to competitors from between 7 and 85%. This is remarkable, considering Bilt Hamber's surfactants are 100% volatile and give zero residue. The significance of increased wetting power is demonstrated in the following cleaning tests. Here we compare Traceless's cleaning power to the competitors. A glass panel contaminated with fully cured permanent marker pen is held at an angle of 75 degrees. Using an automatic pipette with the tips held against the surface, we deliver a 300 microliter dose of each competitor. Here we see the comparative abilities of the glass cleaners to disrupt this tenacious film. Using the same method, we tested the cleaners against a cured bitumen film, where Traceless, again, outperforms the global competition. Note here, in these tests, only products with powerful wetting are able to cling to the repellent dirt film. Low wetting competitors simply run ineffectually downwards, in some cases dripping from the surface. The combination of excellent wetting and superior dirt film disruption is clearly demonstrated. Only Traceless has lifted the bitumen film. Even on unsoiled glass, the same low wetting products still run rapidly downwards. Our laboratory test on intensely illuminated glass shows this effect. Here we apply low wetting competitors to the left and Traceless on the right. The low wetting competitors simply run down the glass in rivulets, whereas Traceless super wets the surface, creating a uniform film of powerful cleaner. Spray-on wipe-off glass cleaners employ mechanical action imparted by a cloth or absorbent material. To reliably emulate this, we use scrub test equipment. A tenacious mixture of wax, oil, and particulate dirt is applied uniformly using a bar coater and allowed to cure. 3 milliliters of each cleaner is evenly distributed to the absorbent wiping surface. The scrub tester is set to deliver an even pressure at a consistent speed, over a set number of passes. A visual comparison is made, noting the reduction of dirt film between competing cleaners. The test is repeated to include all competitors. Once more, Traceless provides dramatically superior performance, even in the absence of traditional powerful surfactants used by its competitors. In this test, standardized cotton discs, similar to those used in the ISO 8022 wetting test, are dropped into a 1-liter measuring cylinder. The sinking point is precisely timed. This test quantifies how quickly the glass cleaner is absorbed. Without fast absorption, dirt is simply wiped around the glass surface rather than being removed into the cloth. Here we compare Traceless to competitor 8 in the center and competitor 1 to the right. The fast wetting speed of Traceless is easily observed. The performance of the American formulation would provide adequate glass cleaning speed. In contrast, the German formulation shows poor performance, only sinking the cotton disc after more than 3 minutes. Working speed would be very slow. Both competitor 8 and 1 contain traditional residue-forming surfactants. Polished glass plates are internally lit, giving a characteristic green glow. The powerful lighting amplifies any defects and contamination on the surface. A trigger spray application is made centrally and allowed to fully dry. From this, we can assess residue level. Some competitors deposit greasy residue whilst others form hard or spotty films. We have wiped through the center of the residue with 3 passes using a lint-free, suede microfiber cloth. Traceless leaves no stubborn surfactant residue. 4 drops of each glass cleaner are applied to an aluminium plate. This material is commonly used for highly finished trim. After drying, we can see the characteristic residue left by the competing formulations, while Traceless is clear. After buffing, it can be observed which formulations chemically mark the surface. We grade these using red plus symbols, from no pluses for 0 marking up to 3 for pronounced etching. Here we summarize the performance of each glass cleaner in the categories shown in this presentation. Traceless, a super wetting glass cleaner.
So what's the point of showing us that video, John? It's all labby and scientific. It's not very, there's no like nice voice. I could have done a voiceover, couldn't I? Doing like a game show host voiceover. The point is, about 8 or 9 years ago, when I kind of started including Bilt Hamber products on the channel, you know, there wasn't much hype about them or anything like that. Very little, but they were sort of known to be a kind of less blingy brand, but a more technical brand, not a detailing brand by all means, like, you know, originally created for bodywork treatment and rust prevention, and then added a range of detergents and cleaners and then some waxes and all that sort of stuff. It's almost an industrial feel. But when I started incorporating some of those products, especially their detergents, surfactants and all that stuff into my tests, I noticed pretty rapidly those products performed really well, like really strong cleaning products, but products that don't get their strength by using cheap materials. So you could use a real cheap material, you know, like acids and hydroxides, sodium hydroxides, all that stuff, less surfactant, less of the stuff that costs money, make it something that's a little bit more caustic and perhaps less suitable. Or you could perhaps do what the detailing industry does, where they'll sell you 5 litres of snow foam for like 30 to 50 quid. You use a little bit less of it, but it's so mild, it's like pH neutral, it's preserve your protection. It's really important to preserve your protection. Maybe, but they're all the same. And I just felt that wasn't giving you great value for money, really. You know, when I'm using pre-wash in the UK environment, for example, going back to pre-wash, sorry, I want something that is really powerful and strips off all the road film, but doesn't contain any nasty materials and doesn't break the bank. So some of their surfactants started winning some of my comparisons. And from then on, I've really sort of fallen in love with this brand, and I think all of their products are pretty good. They're not all the cheapest on the market, but most of them are very good value. Like their wax used to be $14.95 for the double speed wax. Don't know what it is now, it'd be a couple of quid more. Brilliant wax for that sort of money, and you could go and get a 500 quid wax, you know, put it on the car. you know where I'm going with that. And the Bilt Hamber double speed will last like twice as long. The gloss, yeah. So you know where I'm going with all this. The interesting thing with Bilt Hamber as well, the last time they released products with their touchless kind of snow foam, there was nothing. It just appeared on their website one day, and I was like, holy cow, they got a new product. So there's very little hype. I'm sure they did some form of marketing, maybe posted it on their social media or whatever, but very little hype. Just there, it's a new product. Go and get it if you're interested. Now, going to this glass cleaner, get on with it. Why is it interesting? Because Bilt Hamber, as a brand, when they formulate products, just like me as a YouTuber, I need a little bit of competitive instinct. I need a slight competitive mindset to do YouTube, to drive me forward, to be the best a man can get. You've got to be competitive. Helps in life to have a bit of that. And I think their approach to formulating and developing products is competitive, where they always seem to take all of the known products on the market that are regarded as good, and they'll benchmark against those products in a whole series of tests until they're happy. You know, like they've got a product which is proven to be way better than anything else. And then once it's way better than everything else, they'll then sell it for a really affordable price. So let's talk about the price. I believe this product is going to be $11.95 or $12.95. I don't know. It's pre-release at the moment. And I haven't bought this. You can't buy it. Bilt Hamber have kindly sent it to me. So, you know, I don't know, what the price may change. $11.95 to $12.95 for 1 litre of the product, and you get 2 glass cleaner towels with it. So the average price for a litre of glass cleaner, when I compared about 20 or 30 glass cleaners in my best glass cleaner video, was about £17.40, I believe. Most expensive was about £30 per litre, based on smallest or nearest 500ml offering. And the cheapest was about £2.66 a litre, which was the Mr. Muscle, which was okay. A bit vinegary, a bit sticky. It's all right though. And then the good contender was the Nil Glass. That was the second cheapest, and that had a very good 5 litre price, but I based it on their nearest 1 litre pricing. So there's an argument here that Bilt Hamber is more expensive than the Nil Glass, where you can pick up 5 litres of it for some places like £10 to £15, which is a phenomenal price, and that's like a professional glass cleaner that's widely used and quite affordable. And I think it's good. Now, here's the interesting thing, going back to the formulation approach. I think it was really important for Bilt Hamber. They were talking a lot in that video about wetting. So a surfactant, a quality of a surfactant is wetting. And essentially, to make a surface wet, the lower, especially if it's a solid surface, not something that's going to absorb the liquid, something where the liquid's going to sit on the surface, you need wetting capability, which is low surface tension, so that when you spray it over an area, it spreads and wets the surface. Some surfactants and some cleaning products, believe it or not, don't have that in there, because whoever's selling it doesn't know their derriere from their elbow and doesn't really even test their products, and they have high wetting. And those anonymous products that Bilt Hamber compared against, a couple of them had quite high surface tension, which is not desirable in a glass cleaner. Some of them were very low, very close to the Bilt Hamber, which I thought was interesting. So it shows you that some other companies know what they're doing and can formulate good stuff as well. So let's just have a look at this surface wetting. I haven't sprayed this product. Nice triggers as well, by the way. These do mist up quite well. I've got glass stuff on here actually, so it's probably not the best thing to demo it on, but let's just have a look. Look at that. Look at that. So straight away, no beading at all. A little tiny bit down there. Just wets out the surface. It's also got a scent to it, I think. I don't know if that's the chemical, because it's got like a pear drop scent, or let's say it's got a pear drop smell. Whether that's the chemical, let me just get these cloths. Hold on, it's going to be wobbly. Whether that's the chemical or scent, I don't know. I don't really care. Bilt Hamber don't tend to do scent. So you're getting a waffle weave there, quite an abrasive waffle weave glass towel, and then a suede, edgeless suede that's very thin. I'm curious about Bilt Hamber. Wow, that's really interesting. It's really kind of interesting, that is. So it's cold as well, so this is going to flash eventually. What's the temperature in here? I don't know, we're close to sort of like 5 degrees or something, I'd imagine. Really interesting. It does wet out the surface very well. There, it's starting to flash now. It's not the fastest flashing actually, but it's flashed. And then you would go over it perhaps if you want that final finish with one of these micro suede towels. Now, going back to these, Bilt Hamber are probably the only people I know that give away these towels when they do their products. I don't think you need to do that. I suspect they do it because they want everyone who buys their equipment to be armed with the right stuff. And it does make a difference. That's interesting. So I do have little marks on there that need cleaning and mopping up. And the inside needs a good clean. Here's another thing. When you clean your car, you generally wash it and you go over the windscreen with your mitt and all that. The outside of the car is pretty clean. It tends to be the inside, but you get your greasy hands and you get all the slimy stuff building up on the inside of the glass. And when you clean the inside of your glass, it suddenly becomes much more prone to fogging up because all the oil and stuff from you breathing and vaping out and whatever you've been spraying around in there, the oil films like a greasy layer over the inside and it stops the condensation forming on it. And then when you clean it, the condensation can actually sort of land a bit easier. That's one thing I've noticed. Yeah, very interesting. So even still, it's still in my towel. So I can feel the low friction. The low surface tension. And that's, oh, hold on a second. Okay, back, sorry. Always get disturbed. So I'm really more interested, you can see here, this glass has got all this slimy film over it. I'm really interested on the inside, primarily. So let's just mist some of this over. What I like as well is you spray it on there and it's not running down the glass. It just sits on the glass, which is unusual. Look at that. It just doesn't move. It's really cool. We use quite a lot there. Go around the edge. Really, you need 2 hands. Yeah, I'm using a lot of chemical here. But you really do notice surfactant, how it wets it out. Now, the other cool thing is they're using a volatile surfactant. What do you mean volatile? It's going to blow up? No, I mean with volatile that it's normal environmental conditions. It's not stable, so it will evaporate or whatever. You know, it will change state. Someone tell me, there'll be a scientist there. It will change state, and that's what volatile surfactant means. If it's not volatile, it might just stick around, you know, after you've used it. Really interesting. I had a ton of grease on my glass and it needs this final wipe down just because I've broken it down. I've got scratching, that's scratching on the outside there, so that's not going to come off. But it is really doing a good job of getting it clean. I need to put this camera down. And of course with these suede cloths, you don't get any lint or anything like that. This glass is actually really dirty. Then with that final wipe, it's going to vape out. Is that dirt or is that scratching? No, that's scratching there. It's just scratched glass. Yeah, it's very interesting. So it really does, the first thing you'll notice is that low surface tension. John, is this the best glass cleaner on the market? Is this the best glass cleaner? The only way you can tell what the best glass cleaner on the market is to go and buy a ton of them and form a load of tests and compare them on these tests. You can't really even learn which one's best by just sort of like busting them out and cleaning stuff, because you're never cleaning the same thing. It needs to be repeatable style tests. And we've done that, and unfortunately Bilt Hamber this product didn't exist. Would it have won? Well, it would definitely have won the wetting test. It would definitely have won the residue test. You know, there's no whiteness to it at all. Is it as potent? Well, looking at the Bilt Hamber video, you'd think it's a hell of a lot more potent than the other ones. But so I'd probably lay money that it was. Would it be the cheapest? It would have probably been about third cheapest, third, fourth, something like that. I don't know. So it would have probably stood a good chance of winning. But without doing that testing, you never know. You can never just pick a product and use it once and say, that's the most amazing thing I've ever used. You've got to do the old proper testing. You get the idea. So, yeah, like I've mentioned, guys, Bilt Hamber, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best no-nonsense brands that are really divorced from the detailing scene and are all about giving you very effective, powerful products at very reasonable prices that can be proven within sort of testing to be better, I think, or outperform other products. There is also an environmentally friendly theme within that brand. They've always had that. You know, the products are pure surfactant based without all the caustic stuff, as we talked about. So biodegradable products that aren't going to hurt the environment as much as flushing sodium hydroxide into the drainage systems. And it gives me great pleasure nowadays. I'm getting old and cantankerous. Whenever I do a snow foaming video and I get one of the eco warriors go to me, "You're killing the planet with all that toxic snow foam." And I say, "No, I'm not. This is sugar-based, it's bio-based, it's one of the most environmentally friendly ways that you could ever clean a car." And they go quiet, they don't reply back to me then, because, anyway, I'm ranting. But I get great pleasure out of that. So, Bilt Hamber Traceless, no hype. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because it's too early for me to know. It takes a bit of time to get familiarity. The point is, you guys will probably go out and buy this, because if you're like me, when these guys release a new product, you want to have a play around with it. You want to see how good it is. This is definitely potent, and this definitely has really low surface tension and sticks to the glass and wets it out. So it's probably going to be one of the most effective glass cleaners out there, isn't it? There we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. If this is available, I'll stick a link for it in the description. You might even be able to get a discount. If the discount code doesn't work, then it's non-discountable. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?